University of Tennessee students were told, don't use him or her, use gender-neutral words like her and zer. What?
No justice! No peace!
But what's worse is the new twist. Some campus leftists say some viewpoints must never even be heard. It's gotten so bad that even family-friendly comics like Jerry Seinfeld say,
don't go near colleges, they're so PC.
An opinion echoed by Chris Rock, who said he stopped playing colleges because of their unwillingness to offend anybody.
An opinion echoed even by the president, who told students, if you hear something you don't like,
you should have an argument with them. But you shouldn't silence them by saying you can't come because, I'm too sensitive.
all I hear is that colleges are awful places for free speech.
The reason you feel that this is such a big deal is because the media exaggerates how important it is.
Leftist professor Jeremy Mayer.
If you're Jerry Seinfeld sitting there on your millions and you can't handle a 19-year-old gay rights activist calling you a homophobe, put on your big boy pants, Jerry. Get over it. It's just a criticism.
Criticism's fine, but these days, most campus criticism is targeted only at certain people.
What's offensive is opposing same-sex marriage. What's offensive is being pro-life.
Columnist Kirsten Powers leans left, but now she says the left is silencing people.
Offensive speech on campuses is having a non-liberal view and a real intolerance of being able to hear from other people.
The purpose of the college speech laws is that the students are young, they're vulnerable, and they need to be protected from nasty ideas.
Instead of people saying, well, I disagree with what you say because you're wrong about that, they don't say it. They just say, oh, I'm sorry, I'm offended. And it could traumatize me.
Oh, the little snowflakes, they can't handle it. And what I always say is no, these are not fragile snowflakes. These people are intimidators.
They intimidated Brandeis University into uninviting Ayaan Hirsi Ali.
If you want to send your kid to a place where they're protected from reality, then you send them to a daycare center.
Brandeis planned to give Ali an honorary degree for defending Muslim women against violence. But when some students called her anti-Islam comments hate speech, Brandeis canceled her invitation and revoked her degree.
A woman who has stood up to a decade's worth of explicit death threats is somehow too hot for Brandeis to handle.
Some schools, to protect sensitive students, offer them a special room called a safe space.
Run and hide, run and hide. We've got to get to the safe space before the rhetorical bombs start falling. This is insanity.
If you want a space to decompress after this event, there's going to be a space in Wilder.
The safe space is where cultures go to die.
A safe space, right? Their little place they set up with the teddy bears and the Crayola.
She's not kidding. A columnist reports that the safe space at Brown was a room equipped with cookies, coloring books, and a video of frolicking puppies.
We take it that they're fully formed adults when it comes to having sex of any particular variety they want to have. But somehow they're not allowed to be exposed to a speaker who might discomfort them a little. There are people having their heads chopped off all over the Middle East. There are Christians having their churches burned down. But in the most pampered, indulgent society in human history, young people feel threatened because Christina Hoff Sommers has been invited to give a speech.
Sommers is a feminist professor who's skeptical of the claim that there's an epidemic of campus sexual assault.
Her speeches were disrupted. She's willing to debate, she's willing to talk about issues, but they don't want to. She's harming them by expressing a different view. They treat disagreement as an assault against them, and they are justified in silencing people, and even in one case attacking someone.
She's a professor, and she steals signs.
This video begins right after the attack. At UC Santa Barbara, a feminist studies professor and her students snatched this sign from a 16-year-old pro-life demonstrator. When the sign owner complains, the professor smiles and her students tell the girl,
"You better guide your other signs or we'll take it too."
The professor admits she stole the sign and says,
"I may be a thief, but you're a terrorist."
The professor told a police officer she was justified in her attack because the graphic abortion signs were disturbing and offensive.
She shouldn't have had to see this, and so therefore she was justified in harassing the students.
Hey, don't touch me!
She cut the sign up, and in the process attacked a 16-year-old pro-life demonstrator who was trying to get the sign back.
What did the college do to the professor? Nothing.
He still works there.
Well, tenure's a powerful thing.
At his former college,
Get off this campus. We don't want you here.
I once experienced the new campus attitude. After a male student was drummed off campus for having drunken sex with a female student, I thought I'd ask students, where's the new line between sexual consent and rape?
Rape is not TV hype.
They drowned me out.
Rape is not TV hype. Come on, everybody, louder.
I couldn't even get a question out. They pulled out my microphone cord.
What happened to you, John, was wrong. But let's remember what a college is. 18 to 21-year-old people are being exposed to ideas, and some of them get incredibly passionate about them, and they make bad mistakes. I don't think that it's very often that you see the heckler's veto.
We're liberals. We're supposed to like free speech.
The heckler's veto even hit Bill Maher. He was invited to speak on the anniversary of the free speech movement at Berkeley. But some students tried to ban him because he's criticized Islam.
I guess they don't teach irony in college anymore.
At Dixie State University, these libertarian students were told they could not post these flyers criticizing both Presidents Obama and Bush.
Don't colleges need rules to keep people civil? Hate speech isn't nice.
Are you always nice?
Dixie State told them provocative speech must be limited to this small free speech zone.
So this little triangle we have right here?
At least here, they thought students would be free to write their opinions on this poster.
But this cop shows up.
Somebody asked him if he was looking for hate speech, to which he said yes. And then he went over to our table, kind of perused the table, looking through all our books.
This guy in the cowboy hat was going to write something, but he was scared off by the police officer.
It made us mad. You can't limit free speech. Isn't that what it says in the Constitution?
Students can say whatever they want in the free speech zone.
First of all, the country is a free speech zone. You don't get to decide what other people are going to say or what other people are going to hear. That is not the way this country operates, and it certainly shouldn't be how campuses operate.